planty people, I am Empress Erie. Welcome back to Plant Tips with Empress. Now, if you watched my introduction video, you'll know that my first video was meant to be a plant tour. Well, a lot's happened in the last 24 hours since I posted that video, and since then, a Facebook post I put up with a little hack on how to save your overwatered plants has gone a little viral. It was picked up by a few news places such as Lad Bible and the Daily Mail and the Daily Mirror and a few others, and they've decided to share my tip. So I thought, I better share my tip other than just in a Facebook post, right? So here I am today to tell you how to save your overwatered plants with, that's right, tampons. Now, if you get a bit squeamish talking about tampons, sorry, there's going to be a lot of talk about it in this video. If that's not for you, maybe skip to another one. Anyway, let's get into it. Now, if you didn't see it, this is my Facebook post that went a little bit viral. It was then picked up and run a few places, which is pretty damn cool, considering I've worked my whole career to make it famous as a performer, and now here I am going viral for some tampons. Not where I thought I'd be, but yeah. So, in that post, I had shared my lovely Overwatered Hoyas. So, I got into Hoyas in the middle of summer, and in summer, Hoyas need a lot more water. I really can't talk today, so sorry. Anyway, in summer, I found my Hoyas got quite thirsty. I had to water them quite a bit, and I didn't realize just how harsh I would have to adjust my watering schedule in winter. Well, I've already drowned one Hoya Kerry and one Hoya compactor. So I was determined not to do that with my other Hoyas. And I had seen this thing on a few comment sections being mentioned going, I heard tampons worked. And I went, you know what? Let's stop hearing about it and find out if it actually did. So I shoved a few in these Hoyas here, which have now dried out beautifully. When I'd repot my Hoyas is I overwatered them pretty heavily. If you're like me, you've been stuck at home recently and you've been loving your plants just a little bit too hard. I know I have. And so that's what I've done. So I had this beautiful little Hoya here and it was brand new and I just potted it up, and I had a feeling I'd maybe overwatered it just a little bit when I'd planted it because I was so enthusiastic and excited about my new baby. So I grabbed out a few tampons I had in the back of my cupboard. Now, a little bit of TMI here. I personally am not a tampon user. I used to use them, and then I actually had TSS, which is toxic shock syndrome. Any woman who has used tampons and sat on the toilet reading that little booklet will know exactly what that is. Anyone else, you can Google it if you want. It's not fun. So personally, I don't use them, but I did have some stashed away, so if a friend was over, my dog just sneezed. If a friend was over, then I was able to, pass them on or whatever. So anyway, I had some in the back of my cupboard, and what I did was, I'm going to actually grab one of my plants here that is just potted up. So here we have a little variegated angel's tears. Isn't it cute? I just got it recently, so it's currently one of my favorites. So when I potted this up, I rinsed it out with a bit of a seaweed wash because I love to give seaweed to all of my new plants, but I'll do that in a different video. So what I did is I watered it when I potted it up. If you don't have one of these, it's a moisture meter. I'm going to talk about them in another video as well. But what it is so we're checking our moisture. So in here, we're not too wet, which is nice, but because it is a succulent, she could be drier. So imagine this is your beautiful baby plant that you keep watering and watering because you just love it so much and it's so pretty and you just love it. Well, sometimes things like this don't want that water, especially if, like me, you're in Australia and it's winter at the moment. Please don't water your succulents. So what you want to do is you get your little pot and you get your little tampon. This is not an ad for you. It just happens to be the brand I had lying around from back in the day because I like colour. And then so what I'm going to be doing is after this packet runs out and I actually need more tampons, I'm going to be buying plastic free as possible, organic cotton ones, because, you know, I'm a bit of a hippie like that. And so what we're going to do is you're going to just get your finger in there a little bit. It's the reason I have short fingernails. And then you're just literally going to insert your tampon into your pot. Maybe do this when you don't have guests coming over, you don't have family around, you don't want to explain it to people, or you do because you're like me and you have no shame. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave this for a little while, we're going to come back in a little bit, and we're going to look at how much it's expanded in that pot. Now, because this pot isn't like the wettest in the world, it's probably not going to expand so much. So I might actually get a plant that can handle a little bit of water, and I'm going to overwater it, and we're going to do the same thing. Let's, for the fun. All right, I have readjusted the camera angle so you cannot see my washing hanging in the background anymore. So what I have here is, I'm just going to get a little dish so that I don't drip water on my carpet. So what I have here is a baby Peperomia silver, silver rosso that I potted up 2 days ago or something, and because it was water propagated, it actually needs to be a little bit wetter than my other plants can handle. So I'm going to use that for my demonstration right now. I will do more videos on peperomias and propagation. It's a new channel. I'm doing my best. So what we're going to do is we're going to water it because you love it. You love your plants, so you're going to water it. And then it's watered. And then you go, oh fuck, I've drowned my plant and now it's going to die. And then trusty tampon to the rescue. It just dripped water anyway. I said I wasn't going to, and I did it anyway, because I'm clever like that. All right. So we're just gonna make a space, stick it in. So now this is the sort of wetness that you would normally expect your pot to be at when you do this. We're talking really drenched water. It will work in that other angel tears that I had before, but it's going to be more effective in your super drowned pots. So again, so we're going to leave these for half an hour and we're going to come back and I'm going to show you the results. All right, so I'm back. It's been a little bit longer than I said it was going to be because I got distracted. So it's been about 2 hours or so since I was here last, and we've had a lot of expanding happening. So I'm going to get in there close now. We're going to take a look at what has happened. So from the before photos, you would have seen that these were quite skinny. They were your regular old size. Now we're going to pull them out. And that is so water drenched now. It has drawn so much water out of that soil that you can actually squeeze water out of it. That's how much water has been drawn out of that soil, is I can actually squeeze water out of that one now. So that was from the peperomia that we overwatered, that I came back and I overwatered. And I'm just going to grab my moisture meter because I left it too far away. And we're just going to, this is my puppy. This is Crook. This is Keisha. Anyway, so I figured if you saw the dog in the background there, everyone would have to know. So what that's done now is, if you actually have a look at the moisture meter, it is not even 100% wet. So that has drawn so much moisture out of that now that it has taken it below saturation, which is fabulous. And then our other one here, just going to pull that out. So this one was the one that I didn't extra water. It was just as wet as it already was. This one you can't squeeze any excess water out of it. It has just drawn the excess water out of the pot. I'm just going to do this one as well. So this one started around the same sort of area. It was about a 6 or a 7, I think, from memory. So it hasn't drawn heaps out of the soil, but it's drawn a little bit out, which for a succulent means that it's going to dry out a bit quicker and it will be happier sooner. So now I know some of you are probably going, ew, gross, tampons. It's just a piece of cotton with string in it. That's it. I promise. Unless it's used, which, I mean, now technically it is used, but unless it's like pre-used by like a uterus, it's not gross. It's just cotton on a string. It's just a useful tool. That's all it is. All right? Now I know there's going to be some of you out there who are just going, oh, but Empress, why don't you just like give your plants enough water or not overwater your plants? Yeah, okay, I get that, but we all make mistakes, all right? We all slip up, and not to mention there are actually some commercial potting soils out on the market now that retain way too much moisture to the point where we think we can water our plants, but we can't, because the potting soil is just retaining so much moisture that it's not drawing that back out. I'm going to do another video about soil, not today. But you know what? Accidents happen. Sometimes we overwater. If you are one of those amazing, magical, wonderful humans who never overwater their plants, good for you. I mean, I'm happy for you, genuinely. But you know what? I'm human. Sometimes I slip up. It happens. All right, and I know some of you are going to be like, don't your pots have drainage? Yes, my pots do have drainage. And guess what? Sometimes the soil still retains more moisture than you want it to, and it can be just a little bit too wet in there, especially if you're using a plastic pot like I have here and not using something like terracotta, which draws the moisture out. So if you need something else to draw the moisture out and you've been overwatered with a heavy hand, like we're all a little guilty of sometimes, except for those perfect people who never overwater their plants. But if you're human like me and occasionally slip up and pour just that little bit too much water in your plant and you're really worried about something rotting and getting sad, well, maybe just stick a tampon in there, draw some extra moisture out, and then next time, don't be so heavy-handed with the watering. You can love your plants in other ways. Talk to it. Sing to it. There are other ways to love your plants than overwatering them, all right? So I hope this has helped you. If it hasn't, I hope you've at least enjoyed watching my silly rants about dirty tampons. And if this has grossed you out, I don't know why you've watched it all the way to the end. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of my channel. I will have more videos coming soon. If you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. My Instagram is Empress's Lady Garden, all one word, and I will pop all the links in the description and the rest. Anyway, have a great day. I hope you've enjoyed this. Bye!